11 o'clock on Tuesday, February 10th. This is the first meeting of the Town of Whately Building Committee. The further business is to organize the committee. The chair, vice chair,
I'll be
you will serve as secretary.
Yes.
If anyone particularly wants to be chair.
I'll be vice chair.
I will do it just to. Someone will nominate me.
I nominate Fred Barron to be the chairman of the Whately Municipal Building Committee.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Do we need a vice chair? Is that how?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll nominate JD to be the vice chair.
Second. Discussion, none, all in favor? Aye. Done, okay.
Oh, vice chair doesn't, you're not here for some reason, I run the meeting.
Right, that's about it.
That's it. We don't need like a clerk for that. No.
Well, just.
I'm here to
As,
do all
I know,
that for you guys, but yes, you don't need a clerk.
okay, it should all have copies of. Weston and Sampson's report. My personal comments is I don't know that Weston and Sampson ever really got what we were trying to do. Jared, you're.
I mean, seems like, I mean, you're not even in the price range. You're not-
Right,
I mean, 8 million was the cheapest, or 4 million was the cheapest.
Started at 15.
yeah, it started at 15.
Yeah, it's not even-
Right.
and then they lowered it down by, I mean, 1 million at a time, they're gonna still be here till next year, so. Taking away it.
Yeah, and so I think there's some useful things in the report, but I don't think we need to spend very much time on it.
Yeah.
I don't think because.
The only comment I'll make about it is when we take that number of 15 million and you stack it up to the senior center's looking at, look at the 200 and whatever $1 million for the new tech school. We're not, it's public construction.
But,
This is what we're up against.
Right.
And so I don't think that number, the more I've thought about it, is
It's not too far off.
is an insane number. Anybody know what the senior center number was to?
Well, the senior center numbers were going to be, I think, one was 14.8 and the other was 16 for the two here.
And that was just rehabbing a building.
That wasn't started.
That's just rehab. We're talking building.
Oh, no, I was, those are for the new building. When they were gonna,
Oh, okay.
when they had plans for the building. yeah.
What's
What's that Conway spent? Cause Conway just built.
Conway did theirs, and I looked extensively into that. I had met with,
Yeah.
Ron Sweet.
Yeah.
The issue with Conway is they built two buildings.
Yeah.
Separately, which they skirted the law. You don't need to have an OPM unless you are under $1.5 million. Their cold shed they built for about $1 million. I don't remember the numbers, but it was under $1 million. And the heated facility was right at that point.
Okay.
One of the things that I was griping about, and I even had complained to Natalie Blay when she was still our legislator, was that threshold, that 1.5 million, it hasn't moved.
It's.
That threshold.
I remember, I copied you, a note to Paul Mark about that, because there's a big, municipal bill going through the state legislature, the interactions with municipal local governments. And I wrote a suggestion to him that they look at that to include it, and that I've not heard anything back as to whether it's getting included. To up that.
If that threshold could be attached to inflation, or at least looked at maybe if they jumped it to 5 million. Then Whately would have the opportunity to look at trying to do something on their own. And staying under that threshold.
I have another question. I hope this doesn't get too deep into this right now. We can put it off if we have to, but how did Conway handle the washing of the trucks, the floor drains? Cause tight tanks are expensive. Did they put a water recycler in there?
Yes, they have tight tanks, but they're
They
pretty
recycle.
much.
So they have,
it has to be taken away, but they're avoiding them. They're not using it.
so they're washing that side.
I believe so. I know they're there,
By code, we have to have them.
but
Washing inside fills them up quick.
oh yeah,
Were they included, were they in the cold building or the heated building?
they're in the heated,
Not that bold.
but they're there.
I went down this path with my building, and they don't wanna have any soil water infiltration going into the soil, but it's fine if you're on sewer, they just put a oil water separator and it goes right up
Away
the
it
city
goes,
sewer.
right. But there, at the moment, there's no issue as far as pitching the floors to run out the door, and
The new building,
I don't,
they have to go in, it's the.
okay, but, all right, yes.
The building code is that if it's
Yes.
commercial, they have to have floor drains, so it has to go to a tight tank, it has to be piped out. But it becomes washing. My shop, I don't have to have them because mine is not equipment bay, it's a fabrication facility, so I don't have to have them. But if I did it, they gotta be they don't wash my trucks outside. They say, yeah, you want, I'm gonna wash my truck in the driveway, no, you're not.
In the original numbers with Weston and Sampson, they included an area of having a full internal wash bay.
Yeah.
The problem with it, once you get that water with the salts in it, the alkalines, you can't get that out.
Never seen
So-
what built, and they built what built that, they built that building. First.
And so, do you wanna then turn around and wash like your vehicles with salt water? No, so I felt like after we looked into it a little bit more on the expense of it, we just get rid of having a wash bay, and so that was my thoughts. I don't know how you feel on it, Gary. It's
Yeah.
nice that you could be able to wash a vehicle after a storm in a warm environment. Whereas like in this past few weeks, when you get done with a storm and it's
Still can't see out the shields.
12 degrees outside when you get done plowing, but yet the truck is
12 degrees.
whatever, you
It's
know.
hot.
You can't do it outside.
Put it outside.
You can't do it outside.
Huh.
The truck would be in, you wouldn't be able to use it,
Right.
so much ice on it, so.
Okay, just for organizational purposes, I think that we, under this review the feasibility study, want to discuss what this committee is going to do about highway garage and, future steps, just given that the agenda is the way the agenda was set up. There's no other place for discussion. Then I think
Fred, is there any traction to moving the police department here? Utilizing that building for the office portion?
See.
Yeah, that's almost 3A, but the answer
That's
is
a
we,
huge impact.
it's Gary and I were talking to Western San, Keith, I was in the discussions and the transition. The assumption was that the police department would at some point want to move here.
Yeah,
Therefore, opening up that building as office space for the highway department. We've yet to get any formal proposal from the chief to do that. Either a timetable or any sort of plan at
he
all.
broached it to us at finance, I think.
It's here for it.
Okay. But again, it's sort of a very hazy thing, just got nothing concrete.
Start with that.
I should start with that, because,
Bring them in.
so this space out here is not even being used.
This space out here is not being,
So we
it's
should-
essentially
Right,
unused.
so the town owns it.
Right.
Well, we're not gonna use it for a senior center. That's out the
Right.
door. Trying to get somebody to rent it, there's plenty of buildings all over the place for someone to come and rent
The
it.
study, the idea was that we could build a building over for the highway garage, it was just a garage.
Well, that's what-
All the office
that-
things in the
Right,
building.
Right, that's what my thoughts are, just
Right.
build a garage.
Right,
And then Aaron and-
that's where we ended up, Western Sampson never really got, that we ultimately just wanted
Cause eventually,
a frame, the frame floor,
Is
a
there,
bathroom.
is there-
that's way back when the police department, when I was on it.
Yeah.
There was talk, that's where they were gonna go, is here, when they bought this building, which to me, I think the police department would be better over here. On a safety issue and everything, because down there, there's too much stuff happening down there.
Yeah, no, I
You're
agree.
bringing in people and there's trucks and everything, and if this space isn't gonna be utilized, the town's not getting nothing off of it. We might as well see what the plans are to
We need
build.
to work with Jim and move that forward and get some firm proposals, what he needs, how much of this space, you know, is he like the whole space? How much, you know, and
We don't have,
roughly how much is it gonna cost?
Cost to build out.
we need a number.
That's gonna be
Right.
cheaper to renovate this little space for him than it is to.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, then it is to put that type of space into our, to a new highway
Yeah.
bill,
Is
absolutely.
there a physical reason why the building couldn't be to the east of the transfer station?
That is also on my agenda of things to talk about, we need
Because
to,
I really don't wanna lose the ball fields.
we need,
You'd have to put a new septic in.
Okay.
okay,
Where, cause that's where the septic is for the police station. It's right in the middle of the.
Okay.
okay, so as far
We
as,
could work around.
as far as the highway building goes, we need to settle three things.
Yeah,
One, where is it gonna go?
yeah.
Two, what exactly we need in that building, and three, how are we gonna pay it?
Good
To
time.
answer your question, I say no.
You say no.
And the reason for that is the setbacks. The further you go towards 91, the narrower the property gets.
I was gonna say, don't you have the tower?
The slope of the, don't forget, the police station is totally non-conforming. It was built before we had zoning bylaws. The 50-foot setback. The setback is basically at the edge of the building, so go of the current police station. So go 50 feet
The setback from
from Christian Lane, go 50 feet.
Not
to
the back setback.
Go 50 feet to the west.
Yeah.
That's, your setback is now already in your easement that you have on file for the
Tower.
the tower.
For the tower.
Go 20 feet from the back of the back lot to the east. I don't think you've got,
Skinny.
there's just not enough room to do it.
Well, I looked
at that file, that help.
yeah, I think we need to have someone come in
Yeah,
and,
this
you
is
know,
what. Okay.
do a survey, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, essentially lay out what could be a building envelope or a footprint.
Because the septic now for the police department's on the ball field too.
This,
Yeah,
No,
no,
This
no,
setback
no, it's not.
so that's
you
separate.
go 50 feet to there and they put you into here and you go 20 feet, you got.
Okay.
But there's just a lot of consideration between the ball fields and how
Is it
big
clear
we
what
can
the
make
pins
the
are?
building, but
Is it clear where the pins
there
are?
is space where, you know, currently the piles of
They have
gravel and
established.
debris
Okay.
are.
If you get rid of the transfer station.
Yeah.
Which,
No, well, not even if you, I think there's room there, it's just you don't. But there's also another issue
Yeah,
of
we're two
there's an
different
easement
steps
here or a cell tower.
Right, that's where you're gonna run
That
in.
runs through the parking lot.
You gotta get it surveyed.
We need a survey
Yeah.
to give us some options
Could
of,
do that, but that's, let's just do. what we got.
my opinion is the transfer station needs to move out of there.
I am 100% in agreement with that.
Because technically, all you need is a piece of land, all you got is compactors.
and
And I know over in Hadley, where their old dump is, it's just a blacktop area, at their old landfill, 3 stations with power for compactors, and that's all they got. Because otherwise, you're gonna run in down there with rats, animals and everything else. And then the same thing, now you run into all those people down there twice a week.
well, as I've known from the beginning of this, there's just lots of moving parts, because you start now, you know, we're getting to, you know, Board of Health Transfer Station, you're getting to Police Department, you're getting to recreation with the fields, and everyone's got.
I greatly respect what Keith just said about the dimensions there. I wanna see what the dimensions are. Is it 40 feet, is it 50 feet, is it 60
Yeah.
feet, is it 70 feet? I'd like to know what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Because that makes, what Keith says makes a lot of sense.
Right,
But let's know.
Right,
Well, we need to know.
so
I mean, look, in theory, there is space here.
Yeah.
How it lays, I mean, if
Yeah.
we take this as, or even, you know, I'd like to go bigger than we have now to give us some expansion.
But is there space for a drive in and drive out?
that's the other, yeah.
That's
Because if you're gonna do it right, you wanna be able to
That's-
drive in, and drive out the other door.
all these things are
Drive out.
considerations
Lose
that
all the
we
ball
can't make,
fields, the septic system, all that, so you can drive out.
right, that's,
Back-
so that's
back
why
up.
we can't make a quick decision, there are lots of considerations that.
Well, I mean, my brother has a hunting app that's full of the property lines, everything is
Yeah.
close. So we can go down there, put some stakes in, I'll take some measurements and see, I just, from a rec point of view and stuff. I'd rather maintain that field, plus the fire department has events, I mean, look at all the times we have stuff up there, people are in.
One of the
stuff.
things that could
Yeah.
easily be done too. And I'm talking, it could be done in a day's time would be to cut the existing highway department, the cold side. Since it's, you already have a wall to the. In the center of the building.
Yeah.
You could cut your roof. And. Totally excavate all three bays to the. On the west side off, these right here.
So you're leaving the old
You could-
building,
you
you're
could
part of
go
it.
work
For now,
in
we're
the-
leaving the old building.
in that half,
Okay.
if you wanted to, again, we gotta decide what we're doing with this building.
Right.
But if you're trying to preserve space further towards the ball field, and you can start by taking some of this,
So, yeah,
Yep,
but literally you just just go up with a demo saw and
Yeah.
cut the entire roof. And then maybe you wanna put some sheeting or something on the,
Preserving which side?
left side.
keep the warm
Okay,
side.
keep the.
And
transfer
cut
station.
it right here and remove all this. That gives you 50 feet more to work with, so that you don't have to go further into the field if we have to.
I get you.
I agree that,
The other reason for not. A reason for not doing that is just, it makes the transition much easier, trying to. Run a highway department while you're got half of your building gone. Yeah, now that's, a year and a half, however long the construction takes,
Well,
not forever, but.
logistically, if the building was to the east. It's closer to, get center, it's close to the office, you don't have to walk.
Closer to the-
Across the park.
closer to the salt shed, everything. If it
well, yeah,
can
I mean,
go
it's
there.
closer, like you said, you just
And
gotta
then-
walk across.
Something, just.
We need to answer that
If-
first.
if-
I need to measure.
That's,
And
yeah,
if
that's my
if
first
that is
question, is
feasible.
where is it gonna go?
We need to measure
In
it.
our new building, we need. We need warm storage for trucks, that's what we need, right? We need a place to make, we don't have a mechanic, but we need a place for basic repairs. A mezzanine or something to put replacement parts in,
Mhm.
yeah, we got replacement parts. Does it have to have a bathroom in there or no?
I think
Yeah, 'cause
there has to be,
Cause you go work with something.
a
So you're gonna
utility
need a-
sink in the toilet.
Just, doesn't have to be handicapped,
No.
size wise. You just put
But you're
one
gonna need a
bathroom in
bathroom,
there.
because
Right,
you're
unisex
working.
bathroom.
People can be working
Unisex
there,
bathroom,
you
you need a
don't want them going out
But
five
you have
below.
but you have a shower in the youth center.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah, there's showers,
There's
there's
showers, maybe.
male and female
Minimum.
locker rooms in there,
You're gonna
there's
be-
showers, there's everything.
The
We're
use
gonna
center
be
is
putting a new, if we build to the east,
Yeah.
we're gonna be putting a new septic system in for the police station.
Yeah,
It could be a.
that can be in the
duplex.
setback.
Yes,
Yeah, you can build a septic system in the setback.
yes, but you're
If the
also,
problem
what I'm
setback
saying
is
is you
that
could then tie
You
in
could-
a basic toilet from the new building into that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably the septic system would be behind I don't use septic, between that and the salt shed, because that's where that sewer line comes out, it'd probably be somewhere over there, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
at the toilet slope.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's the only
Do
one
it
that
at
toilet
the
in there.
like that, but-
yeah.
In the shop.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're talking a steel frame building. Is it gonna be under 7,500 square feet, so we don't need fire sprinklers?
No. 6,000 square feet.
Okay,
Keep
7,500.
trying, the current building is what, 3,034,
3,600.
3,600, I'd, love to go. Right up, 6 to 7,000.
7,500 is the limit for sprinklers. Yeah.
That's why I said 6 to 7,000.
Garrett,
Just to give us as, if we're doing this, we might as well do it as big as we can afford and we can always expand into it.
So are we
We're not gonna do it
driving in-
We're
again.
not gonna be doing it again.
Are we driving in with diagonal parking and dropping off the other side, or are we backing?
There was
a.
options.
Those are options.
I mean, personally, I would just bring it to the back, just to the shoulder setback line, go from there, drive in, back out, back in, drive out.
How long is a truck with a plow on it with room to walk around it?
12 foot, 15 feet.
No,
No, the length.
length,
Like my pickup, the plow fits in my garage,
Right.
like 4 feet behind it.
Just to give you an idea, current building is roughly 100 feet wide.
No, deep, how deep?
No,
is it?
I know,
Presently,
it's
it's-
roughly 100 feet wide, we're going the
it's
same
30.
width.
It's 36 feet deep.
Right.
When we drive in the single axle truck with the plow, and the plow is touching the wall, you've got about 2 to 3 feet to walk between.
Right, so I think that
It'd be like 48 feet minimum, probably.
I'm
40
thinking if we
would
do
be-
100 by, if we can fit
Yeah.
100 by 60.
Yeah.
Let's say,
that's the room you need.
that's the room you need, gives you
100
room
by
to
60.
build on to, you know, some
Yeah.
storage or whatever in the back.
Yeah.
Work on the back of the truck,
Right,
then you got.
Whatever, but-
That's the garage doors.
you know, I wanna go bigger than we've got now,
100%,
it's cramped now.
100%.
The 3,600 square feet we have now is too
Now-
small.
Because we're a green community, does this have to be an all electric building?
Yeah, we would have to follow those rules.
Yeah.
We took it on, yeah, we gotta. meet those requirements.
Yeah, yes,
It's,
as far as I'm aware.
That,
We're getting the money, that's the problem with,
right, so now we're gonna have to follow it.
that's why we had to get that hybrid, we couldn't buy the hybrid pickup, we had to either have a hybrid or a fully electric.
Okay.
or an F-350.
Or gone to a bigger truck.
So that means the way you heat these buildings is, electric heat pump. Basically, it's a big ducted mini split, and I don't know what I'm saying, it's a big sprout duct,
Yeah.
and you put some PV on the roof to run it, but that doesn't give you your heated floor.
Okay, well, for the purpose of this meeting,
Yeah.
I think first thing we have to do is see,
We
do
need
we
to
wanna
get the
have
measurements.
like a
Get the measurements.
survey, someone in to do a survey and see exactly what our options are for footprint, where can the building go?
So
I-
the tower
I-
has a right of way,
I could
or
do
they
it
own
for
that
one.
The town of Whately sold it to them
with a right of way,
with a
or
right of way.
with a right of way.
So I can do an informal one with Alex's GPS thing, fine.
I got a guy conservative.
I think, given this is municipal, I think we should do formally get,
Well, actually, yeah, we need to know the boundaries anyways.
we need to know the boundaries.
Fred, isn't there a survey attached when you sold that solar thing? They would have had to survey the property.
Perhaps, but I don't know if.
I wanna see a survey with
Up to date.
with potential footprints.
Building envelope.
Right,
That's what we call it.
exactly what the building envelope, where it can be,
Okay.
you know, you know,
Do we have
60
funds to do
60
that?
by 100, you know, 50 by, you know, what can we put?
Do we have funds for that?
We have $90,000 in the building stabilization fund, which is the design, the idea behind that was to have
For the
money
design.
for design and.
It has to be done
Correct.
anyways, so
I mean,
that's,
that's the money that paid for the Weston and Sampson
so who votes to authorize that being done? The select board?
select board.
Okay, so do we make a?
We make a
recommend them to
recommendation.
do That,
So if we can get a proposal from a surveyor, which I'm sure will not be particularly expensive,
What's the balance in the account?
90 something best.
No, not the stabilization.
Yeah.
I'm talking what we already transferred into to pay for this.
35,000.
That was 25,000 to do. And that's been paid.
But what's the remaining balance that we already said? Because before you take money from the stabilization, doesn't that need an ATM or a special town meeting?
No, the money is in the stabilization. I think there was originally 100 and something thousand stabilization.
Okay.
25,000 was taken out.
So you got
to pay
90,
for
you
this.
got 90.
So we've got 90.
so do we need an estimate from Garrett, from the surveyor to do
Yes.
this? And then we
Yes.
have a quick meeting to vote, or do
Yes.
we recommend the select board pending an estimate?
I think we need to have an estimate so we know what we're voting on, so we know, are we talking 500, 5,000, 50,000? We don't know. At this point, we don't have a number. And that's the same thing I'm talking about with the police department moving.
Seems like it's gotta get done anyway.
We need that fact to work on, not just,
Yep,
are we going to do this maybe?
Now, one other thing, the comment was made about the transfer station.
Right, so
At the
that's,
time, we can all look at this, at the time the transfer station was built, the reason it was built there is because it was the cheapest location. Certainly, this many years forward, there's been numerous issues where the state cracks down on the town of Whately because people are coming in, dumping things there. They don't have any way that they can close it off, fence it off.
Yeah, there's no
keep it-
security.
No security. The property across the street that the town owns, this is Mark Bouchier, this is Sean Kendall, and this is the town of Whately. If we already have an easement,
Just for the record, these are properties on the south side of Christian Lane across from where the police department.
I like where
the
I thought this whole. plan-
town has an easement already through these properties when the water main was installed. So we have access where we could put a driveway in right across from the highway department to drive out to that. But this 9.92 acres that is still owned by John Kendall, I believe, and he's in Maine, or the Kendall family, if that's an option to have property, to put the transfer station on the other side and totally have it.
I want.
Secure,
I love
That's a good idea.
If we can.
then you can secure it.
Totally secure that property either by buying it or leasing it or.
And it would be in an area that's up tight to 91 where noise and is gonna be no
Right.
issue to the residents.
I'm sure this is obscene, but is it cheaper just to build an approach up to Christian Lane straight up
It's
that
too
property?
steep.
You couldn't make a ramp down to get into it?
No,
That'd be cost more than building a road.
But you don't have, we got
you,
0.9,
it's, you don't have the land to do
there's
that.
not enough land.
Think,
Okay.
when you go just out to 91 and look at that slope, it's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
But that is a good idea. Then it's over there and you can secure it and it's out of the way from everything.
Do you, or does anyone? Is anyone able to contact with Kendall to see if
That property wasn't in that.
So how much is they own, the Kendalls?
92.92 acres.
well, just under an acre?
And then ours, the town owns,
0.3.
it's a building lot or not? It's a building lot.
It has frontage, however, it doesn't have access. Very good access.
Because of the slope.
right,
Okay.
Maybe they don't want it. Donate what they done. Possible.
And it's not, I'm sure it's not doing much for them because there is no access.
No.
The landline.
that's a perfect spot for the transfer station.
100%.
Yep.
And it would probably cost minimal to do it, but they're gonna have their own funds to. Right?
Well, we'd have to bring,
Right.
see what their
They wanted,
financial situation.
they came to us at finance because they wanted to buy the compactor and I kind of like, no, let's lease it. It's way better to just lease it because we pay minimal to lease the thing. And if something changes, then we're not obligated to own the damn thing. But it's a couple $100 a year. It's cheap as hell to lease it. Not a lot of money. And then they were on the hook for all the repairs to it. Wickles leases it to the town.
You actually don't need an agreement for any of that. Municipal waste. Clear.
It's like when you go to, like Valley Recycling, the compactors are on the ground.
Yeah.
It's handicap accessible, because we have right now, it's not handicap accessible, that's slow.
The whole thing is an OSHA violation,
Yeah.
there's tons of violations there.
Right.
The rats running around.
No, like he said, anybody could just come drop off stuff there, it's nothing's.
But you can't have a guardrail, someone could fall into a dumpster. Mrs. Smith is going to put her trash in there, she falls into the recycling dumpster. You can't have that.
Right, but we need to get. Brian, the Board of Health in, so they can
There's a lot of.
design what they might be able to do with this location. I mean, tonight we can recommend it, but
What's it zoned?
So yeah, it is still owned by John and Marcia Kendall. A co-owner of Doug Kendall, which is their son, and I'm assuming this will be his address, is in Oneonta, New York. But I thought his parents were in Maine, but anyways, doesn't matter.
What's it?
That's an option.
What's the zoning? Is it AR1, AR2?
I assume so that, well, so there's
I
pretty
would
much.
say on this,
I'm sure it's not commercial.
let me just see what the assessment is. Assessed value 11,400.
We could go to town meeting and try to get the zoning changed on it.
You wouldn't
What-
wanna
what-
change the zoning until you own it.
Right.
And it's worth more.
Right. Wait, you gonna pay more than those?
Take it,
But I don't even know the value changed that much, so there's still no access. In
in
general.
worst case scenario, you took it by eminent domain. You pay the assessed value.
Still gotta get some.
But we can,
Yeah,
like Keith, you say, we can manufacture access.
yeah, I think, again, what I'm sort of looking at is wanting, if we're gonna hire a survey, we wanna,
Survey
we
that.
wanna know, we wanna look at what that easement is to make sure that that easement is allowable to use it,
That's
or
through-
was it
through-
just for the
through
water
Mark's
property?
So Mark owns some of it too?
The
Mark owns the property to the west.
the water department has an easement here, cause that's how they got their water under 91.
Okay.
I wanna make sure that there's language in the easement that would allow, If it was already-
You could put a road on top of that. Essentially.
or was it written just for the use of the
Utility.
water?
For the
We
utility?
gotta see what the language in that easement is.
Also possible, I mean, if the language isn't appropriate, we go back to Mark, and say, can we get another easement? You know, alongside the first one,
I think it's probably gonna be the best.
you know.
Well, the dump's across the street from his house now, so.
Yeah, it's over here or over there.
Or you buy a humble land too, there's not much there.
Okay, yeah, Mark's property is 1.86 acres.
Okay, so.
Okay.
I'd like to propose that we have Garrett go to your,
We don't need a motion for that, do we?
no, we needed a motion to authorize Garrett to do it, that's what I'm leading up.
I
to.
make a motion that we authorize Garrett Berry, Highway Superintendent, to obtain estimates for a survey of 6971 Christian Way.
And properties on either side of Christian Lane,
Yeah.
we'll just cover the other side as well.
Okay.
Brought Mark's property in.
Right.
Mark's property in.
Do
And
those people need to be notified?
As a
For
butter.
a survey?
No, it's for certain.
If you survey somebody else's property, you don't need to,
Well, no, because they can find pins.
okay, I just wanna make sure we don't need to legally notify
Walk.
Mark
Their
this year or
property.
the county.
Well, we can walk on the town right away. The town.
Yeah,
on the
okay.
east,
The town owns the.
As long as we don't have
On the
to,
Christian Lane side of the town, of the thing, that's.
then right, you've got the right of way on either side of Christian Lane.
We just invite him in.
yeah,
Mark will
Okay,
go.
all in favor?
Someone has to second the motion.
Yeah,
I'll second it.
Okay,
all right, good.
so I said before.
No, we're good.
Okay, so that's our first step. That'll come back and then we'll start talking about what. You know,
How much space?
what our preferred location is, because it may be that turns out not to be feasible and we've got to go to the
So
other side.
we find out what is available for dimensions, and then we can make our building fit our dimensions, and if we can be accommodating to our dimensions, then we go from there.
Exactly.
Everything else is kind of premature until we go to our dimensions.
Right, take this
Okay.
methodically, okay, go one.
What
All right.
about the trees on the west side? Those poles and.
That's another thing, that was, the trees were
Some agreed.
written in the agreement with the cell tower. That they be planted and maintained. Nobody, some of the ones, Eversource had to cut the ones that were on the hill, on the slope. Nobody ever said a word. But I don't know what our,
That shouldn't be a problem, given that the
The tree
the agreement would be the.
yes, those were mandated that they be planted and maintained from the cell tower. Why? For visibility.
The town requires those cell towers.
The town required
The
it.
town, right, which means the town can waive the requirement.
They can, yeah.
So, right,
Okay,
So that was site plan review probably did that.
yeah.
I wasn't here,
Yes.
but so I don't
Planning
know.
board,
but-
and it's like,
If it was an agreement in favor of the town can say,
We wait.
we will waive it, waive the possibility.
this many years later, if you wanted to cut them down 2 years after it went in, it probably would have been a difference.
And look, at this point, I think. Since we prefer to see if we can do the site on the east side of the transfer station. but we have to see if.
Yeah, if we're gonna use the youth center, it's better on the east side, so
Right.
everything's closer.
If that turns out not to be feasible, then we start looking at west side options and taking down trees.
Yeah.
And all of that.
I value what you said about knocking the building down, to save some of that ball field for the rec. That can work because the kids really,
If,
I mean, I
well,
got young kids,
Yeah.
we're there all the time in the ball fields.
Yeah, but without getting too deep in the weeds
Yeah.
of what that would be. The east side of that, we've got the trees and the septic now is not used particularly. So if we encroached on that side, leaving leaving essentially the ball field as it is.
you could leave,
It's something could probably be done to leave the ball field because of how it's laid.
I only mentioned cutting half of the building off if we were forced
Right.
to build to the west.
Right,
Yeah, I understand, yeah, I get your
Okay.
point, yeah, I
yeah,
get you.
but just, correct, I think our consensus here is we would prefer
East.
to build to the east if that is feasible.
If it's feasible, okay. which
And we
we'll
need
have
the
to-
survey to know if it looks to be feasible. Okay?
Okay.
I think that's it for the highway department building for now. Police department relocation,
We've already sort of.
we've talked about, we
to-
need to talk to Jim
Talk to
and
Jim and
get
get plans.
that firmed up because that becomes part of the highway department plan is to utilize that building.
Who's gonna get a hold of you?
But
How are we gonna get a hold of him? Who's gonna?
we'll find out somehow. I've talked to the pet preliminary talks about it, then,
I am too.
and let them know, we want to hear from you what your proposal is.
He says it's a great idea.
You can't just
Actually,
find it, it's all out.
Yeah.
Like I said, back when the police department was
Right,
going, this
right.
was the spot where it was going.
Gotta do
So I think, either it's like somehow we brought him to take some more active steps.
So what does he need?
I think at the very least, he needs to have an idea of how much square footage he needs and what it will take, what he needs in terms of refit to use that space. Perfect. We know it'll be refit, we don't know what these department requirements are in detail.
But
As far as how much office space, bathrooms, what, we don't know.
to my knowledge, though, at the moment, the current police station is not posing there's no size restrictions or no problem for what they need now. The only reason that this is on the table is to alleviate having to
Cut down on the highway, just build a building.
spend more money on the highway department.
Well,
If
and
that's,
moving the police here has sort of been in the atmosphere for before even the
A
highway
long
department.
time.
Okay.
It's been generally talked about.
he wants to be able to put more cars under cover, I get that, but the other side of it is that the building itself is one of the best buildings we have in this town.
Right.
As far as efficient, that
Mhm.
building is probably the most efficient building we own, so it's not like it's bad, and I'm
What-
saying,
I'm sorry. What modifications would have to be made to that building to be suitable for the highway
New
department?
roof.
And that's already in the.
There's no cell in there, there's just a secure storage room.
That, you don't need to do no modification, there's nothing, there's office space,
There's a just a
Kitchen,
training
bath.
room.
yeah, you wouldn't need to do anything. Yeah,
There's-
and-
there's a
but
kitchen.
Nothing that would have to be, there might be
The cell.
little tweaks that get done for,
Yeah,
every
the
day.
cell, the room is only buckled to the wall,
Does-
it's flats.
Does that building satisfy all of the non-truck storage purposes needs of the highway department?
yes, it will, yes, it will.
Everything's, everything.
The locker rooms,
If they walked out and I walked in, I would probably
Everything's-
change that. New office chair. Yeah, it's got it.
Right.
I mean,
But the only way this is gonna work is that it is to reduce the cost to the new highway department building.
100%.
You don't just wanna move the police department here and have the the current building in a sense be like vacant or waiting.
Oh, no,
Oh, no,
the
no.
assumption is that this would be, the offices and locker rooms or whatever. That,
And
so you don't have to build them into a new building.
the police department is also one of the departments that I feel does not have to be centralized.
Correct.
I would be totally against it if we were talking about putting fire department here. Yes, the fire department needs to be more central and the highway department needs to be central.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
What?
So I can
Yep.
just need to
okay,
sit on Jim.
do you wanna,
and get
do you
some-
wanna then firm up with Jim a little bit?
I'll try to follow up with Jim and say, you know, we need your building. What, can you give us some, you know,
He
firm
needs,
ideas
he
of
needs
what?
to come in here, look in here and kind of.
Oh, I'm sure he's been in here
What he
many
needs,
times to look at this.
What he needs.
He has, we had a basic walkthrough with him. You must have been here for that. We walked through that space with him.
Yeah,
We had a walkthrough.
yeah,
here.
okay.
He has secure areas he has to have, but
Right.
other spaces can be common areas, like they can use all bathrooms here. They can use the conference room,
And,
they
well,
can use
the-
some of the spaces here already.
They can
that
use,
aren't
they can
secure.
use them as long, cause there are some other minor uses there that will have to be maintained, like access to the servers and things like that. So there may be some architectural things that have to be done to make that possible.
Also, when you talk about using like the bathroom, keep in mind that. You could have a situation where they've detained somebody and they're bringing
Yeah.
in, and that person needs to be sent to using the bathroom. And the language that is probably going to be coming out of there.
I understand.
You know,
They
having
need
a
to be
meeting
separate.
here and having select board meeting here being taped and having them.
No, that,
Yelling
that
at
needs to
them.
be separate.
And, and there certainly will have to be some reconfiguring of entrances, because they will need a separate entrance.
Yeah.
Over there.
Just keep that in mind.
But
I do.
again,
I think- I
again,
think-
you know, you know, having an architect
Yeah.
in to look is also something that's foreseen in this $90,000 that we've got
Okay,
for building. Again, that's exactly what that money is for, to do preliminary studies like this.
okay.
Okay, so that's police department. Elementary school roof replacement, I don't even know.
So I've had a couple
Yeah,
of,
Gary and I did that walk past on at the elementary school.
yeah, I've been done it for 2 years now, or a
Okay.
couple of years with Bill Hildreth.
Yeah.
And so the current conditions is that there's an asphalt shingle roof in that building. When they re-roofed it, they went over it with a metal roof. And they nailed the metal roof down. It's a nailed down roof. It's not a standing seam roof. It's like a barn roof. It was an inexpensive way to put a metal roof on the building. The Mass Building Code only allows 2 layers. That's it. You can't, so anything going forward is stripping everything down to plywood and going forwards. And there's probably some rot under there, because that's what you find with this multiple roofs. I'm
Undoubtedly.
gonna find some rot. There was talk about putting an expensive metal roof on that building for the lifespan of the building. I don't see the cost benefit of putting a metal roof on that building, strip it and put a shingle roof on it and get another 25 years out of it. Not spending metal for 3 times the cost. That's my
It's
first-
gonna- It's gonna last long. Cause Hadley's went in with that with their library right now. They put a shingle roof on there and now they gotta go after the contractor. And it's only 10 years old and it's leaking. You put metal, you're gonna be
But
good
it's
for the
3 times
next.
the cost gun. The building's got the building hasn't been a lifespan, it's gonna be obsolete in 30 years.
Yeah, the building's already, 35 years old.
It's gonna be obsolete before the roof is dead. So you put a good quality roof, put ice and water barrier in the whole thing,
Run it, it's spec, yeah.
I just can't justify the cost. A standing seam metal roof in that building is 3-4 times the cost.
Yeah, and, you know, we're just looking at our agenda here, we've got a lot of things that are gonna cost a lot of money. And cost certainly plays into it.
The big driver of that roof was those damn trees.
Those trees needs to go.
But there's something about it when they built it, the trees had to be there. For a site plan or something, the trees had to be
They
there.
wanted to leave as many as possible and have. Yeah, I mean, I also said, get rid of everything on the front side and then put solar on it. It's
100%.
It's perfect for solar,
100%.
You just gotta get rid of those pine trees.
except for the trees.
They're useless, they're
The
gonna break
other,
off.
the other alternative is pine trees grow quickly, cut them down and plant new ones that are 15 feet tall.
Not pine gas.
If
Yeah,
you
but
wanna have
not
some
pine-
landscape.
Something that's not going to
Not pines.
cover. You don't wanna cover the solar.
Right,
You know,
plants, 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 ornamental, it's only gonna grow 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Right, you plant something that's not gonna be a problem essentially for the lifespan of the building.
I love trees, so I love having trees, I got trees all over my yard, but yeah, get rid of, because those things are also a risk.
Yeah.
Of a storm knocking over and landing on the freaking building. Cause they're so tall,
No,
which is what
that's a good
happened.
idea. If you can't get rid of trees there, you can get rid of those trees
Like at,
and plant new ones that are smaller.
at Pine Plains, John Robleski, oh, keep the tall trees. They're freaking matchsticks, when they're all together, they're not bad, you start putting house lots in. Now, every storm, trees are coming down like crazy, the homeowners are cutting all the damn trees down, and so you cut the tall ones, leave the low ones, that's what we do.
2 years we cutting it.
Yeah, but I
So
think that-
how bad is the roof now?
It's leaking, okay, so Bill Hildreth sends a guy out every year, they come in and they. They bang the nails back in and they put the next size, bigger size nail in there to try to cover the hole, and every year there's leaks. And the roofer tells them like, the metal's corroding, it's galvanic reactions, it needs to get done. This roof leaking too?
There's so many things going on, there's a lot of money gonna be going into it.
That's exactly.
That's the big thing, that's what you gotta watch. You got the senior center, that's gonna be whatever they come up with.
Well,
You got school
the
roofs.
senior center at least is not gonna be a capital expense. Senior center's probably gonna go through as they propose, which is they're gonna roll the renovation costs into the annual
Operating.
or monthly operating. So, you know, but once that gets through town meeting this year presumably, then it's built into the budget.
So it won't be a big, it'll
It
be a
won't
hit,
be,
but it won't be.
a big hit. Hopefully, if we do anything with center school, it can be covered by grants and other non-town CPC funds, other.
Because there's a lot of things that are here with money.
But there's just lots of projects here that.
Yep.
Are demanding money.
Okay,
So I don't want to be in a position of recommending doing anything on the cheap.
Yeah.
You know, which is how some of these buildings were built in the first place.
this whole elementary school, Bill Hildreth says, he's like, it's gonna hit us one of these days.
Right.
We keep putting it off, it's gonna hit us one of these days.
Right.
So it's gotta go out to bid, it'd be nice if he went out and. Well, no, we got an estimate, but then we'll go out for the register and all that for. What the roof costs, but it would be nice to know preliminary, what does a shingle roof cost, what's the metal roof cost?
Okay.
You can probably get some basic estimates on that.
Yeah, again, there's nothing much we can do aside from acknowledge it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then. Get an idea, I assume that Bill would be the point person figuring out what it would cost.
He's a facilities director.
He's just, right.
Yep.
He
does a very good job,
Oh, yeah,
he does a
I
very
think
good job.
Bill's great, his
Okay.
communications are good with him, which is key.
What is pumping station?
Water or on it.
What,
That's enterprise.
it, yes, still under the town, but it should be through enterprise funds money, but presumably authorizing it, you know, doing the logistics would come through.
Are they trying to make the little building down at Chesapeake bigger or something? What are you trying to-
I don't know, we don't have any sort of, haven't seen any proposal on it, you know, what they're looking to do. Like, this is, you know, I've heard,
Information expansion, the only thing I know presently is they wanna tie North Street in,
Right.
but that's nothing to do with the building, that's,
if I remember correctly, I think it was something that
that's just.
added
plumbing.
capability at the pumping station.
Yes.
And one at the cemetery, that one,
Yeah,
that little building?
No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
at the cemetery?
yes,
If
all
they
they
wanna
wanna
tie
do
in
is
North
tie in
Street.
North Street, that's cheap money in the
No,
aspect.
I don't think that that's what, I think this is expansion of the
Just the
Chestnut,
plan.
this.
Yeah.
The facility on
If we're
Chestnut
talking
Plain
about
to add
increasing-
additional pumping capability.
That's a whole different.
At that, I think that's what this,
But this is enterprise. Yeah.
it's. Again, as with anything, when it involves a specific department. They would need to come to us with a proposal and say, okay, here's what we don't wanna do, and here's roughly what it's gonna
I don't,
cost.
street, this is maybe a dumb question, can enterprise go out and get a loan and pay for it? Them, or does it have to go through us capital?
I honestly don't know.
No, I think you can borrow it against the water base.
I would say it's steady, they can do it. But they, you know, the town themselves, the town meeting still has to vote to authorize it.
Yeah, but it's paid out.
Yes,
it's a little unusual because the water department is still a town department. It's just for accounting purposes, the enterprise fund takes it out of the general budget.
Okay,
So the logistics of what they can do gets a little bit
Yeah.
uncertain, at least I'm not sure about
okay.
what it all entails.
the North Street expansion, that connection that's happening in the spring, that's.
Okay, but that's already done. I think that what we're talking about is the Chestnut line is.
Looking forward to see what,
Yeah.
since they increased their water rates 465 to 7 and then scaled above that, what's the impact that has made on their revenues?
That's a finance committee.
Yeah.
That's finance committee, their revenues were subpar before that.
Yeah, they were 465 forever.
Right, but then
From day one.
Yeah.
I thought their finances were pretty shaky before they put in that
Yep,
rating.
okay.
Okay, that's it.
Ready for future meetings?
Future meetings, I think,
Recommend putting this on because I know
I
that,
can't do days though.
yeah, Scott
Okay.
has trouble making
Okay.
it for a certain time, so I wasn't sure. I believe the majority of you prefer daytime meetings.
I actually prefer late afternoon, evening, but I can make this work. This time of year, I can make it work.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys wanna discuss when you wanna meet.
I'm pretty flexible, so
What's good for you, Scott, when you say,
Anytime I'd like after 3:30.
4 o'clock.
I'm busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
So it's your memorable Thursday.
Yeah, busy all the time, but
yeah,
yeah.
For
Thursday, I think
for-
for the only day I don't have.
late afternoon.
I can do that, whatever.
Are we gonna try to meet monthly, a set schedule, or just wait to see when he comes back, but then we'll set a meeting date?
I'll call it.
Yep. Let us know when you get something back from him and then we'll schedule a meeting
Okay,
Yeah,
at that point.
but you guys are okay with anything after 3:30? It's gonna have to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Scott needs to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what day, it's just, it's gotta be out there.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be 4 or 5. Kids-
Yeah, if it's later, it's later, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
I'll sit them in the corner.
if we shoot for a tentative Thursday at 4 o'clock?
yes,
And,
Sure.
right,
Down the road.
as a general.
Yeah.
Meeting time.
That makes it, okay,
But
that
just-
makes it easier for me when I.
Well, yeah, just so I know what day it is,
Yeah,
not
Sure.
one
Yeah.
time, it's Tuesday and.
I'll be able to attend. I should be able to attend. Yeah,
Okay,
One other thing,
Yeah.
I know it's, when you say items not anticipated, you made the comment, or the comment was made about reshingling the police station. That would be another building that should be looked at for solar.
100%.
It was originally looked at when the building was built, but at the time when solar was in its, at the cost factor, then it was going to take like 60 years based on the current electric bill to pay for itself back in those days. So I'm just saying it should be looked at it again, because the placement of that building
But it's
is
another
perfect,
perfect spot. all the
is
south
perfect
sun.
for that south. So
okay, that came for the capital improvement committee
for shingles.
for the shingle roof.
Okay,
New
but-
technology for putting the panels on.
Okay, but that's still, it's gonna have to come to finance committee and.
Yeah, I know.
ultimately to
The only
council.
reason I-
So we've time to broach
But the
that.
only reason I bring it up is if you wait. And say, oh, we can't get the funding and we're not gonna do it, and it's 7 years down the road, we won't get anybody. That will put it on at that point because they won't stand behind
The roof.
the
Right.
roof as far as
Right.
leaking at that point.
And I said, the proposal is at its earliest stage right now.
Yeah.
And I would say that when it hits the finance committee is the time, or even before it hits the finance committee.
I think it should be looked at before to have a cost to put the solar on it.
We-
And put in with it.
You've got, the finance got or at least.
No, a solar proposal. What is it?
Right, we got the roofing
Do
proposal,
we have a solar proposal?
not that I saw.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You were at that meeting, I didn't see.
But we should get
Let
that,
it be together.
so we have a cost.
Yeah,
I can call Northeast and ask for a proposal.
yeah.
Ask these guys, they'll put it on. That's what they're gonna do.
Cause we gotta know what it costs to do it.
Right,
Right.
So you got the
We-
roof
we-
and the
we-
solar
We
cost.
had costs on the shingle as capital improvement. We just didn't, but solar didn't come up.
can we write another grant? MVP or
I,
MVP grant for more solar?
What's this one, a grant?
yeah, this is done by Grant,
MVP,
talked to Carolyn.
Garrett, are you happy with your solar?
yes,
I love mine, yeah.
but again, I put it on, I needed a roof. My roof was original, it was 33 years old, so I knew I had to do it, but I also knew that if I didn't put the panels on then, and I waited a few years down the road, I'd have to strip it all off again,
Because they're not gonna,
because no one will stand behind it.
Yeah.
That's the kicker,
I know nothing about, I've got a slate roof on my house.
you're on a timeline from the time those shingles go down to getting
What
solar put on.
about, what about this building? What, they're gonna put solar on that?
Yeah, this is,
Big
but this is, it's a difference, it's standing.
This is metal, right?
It's different than asphalt.
So they're gonna put it on, even it's, that's what material it's made of, they put it on a building that leaks.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, I mean, there's that 40 over the tops of flat.
unless there's
4 inches of
different,
water,
different
maybe
rules
more.
with metal.
where the solar's going is not on that,
It's everywhere.
but that isn't where the,
Where their offices are in the front here, that whole side of the building's leaking.
there's
down.
no solar.
Where's the solar?
Oh, that's how I saw
The solar's going on the main.
it. And this side, all the way to the end, all the way to the edge of this building. I saw the thing for it.
All right, see, I thought it was only.
Unless there's a different thing for metal roofs.
The roof's gotta get fixed.
I'm signing off on it. They're gonna do it. You're starting, you wanna start, go. Okay, go for it. I'm not putting my name on it. It's leaking. It's clearly leaking. I don't know. I told them, because they said there's $3,500. Okay. I'm doing
$3,500 for what? Fix it?
Fix stairs.
it. Okay.
Who's,
Yeah, I think
the
it's-
town's incorporated that or the metal, the solar is not allowed to do that?
I asked them multiple times for a copy of the roof inspection and still,
It's asinine to put solar panels on roof leaks.
one thing. It's my opinion for them, but I've asked and asked and asked, emails. Can you give me a copy of the roof inspection? Zero. New project manager. Oh, we'll get a new project. Good.
But the part, like
Unless
where
they
the
don't
offices
care,
are, where
this
it's
is
got
good.
the rubber on, there's no solar going on that.
On the top of that, no.
Right, it was only on that part.
So maybe they looked at that and they
So I
said,
don't,
that's all
that's
right.
why,
So the valleys all on that side thing are all the. That side of that 4080 square part are all the valleys are all the nails are gone, all the rubber from under, so
this is
stick your
something
hand
that
up on.
is propped up since recently than as it was, we weren't seeing any leaking.
I walked up there.
Okay.
You went through the whole, I got pictures there, like you could jam your arm underneath this. No,
Somebody did. There's another chance.
Running down the sides of the building with all those brown stripes.
Who's the select board going to do about that?
Gonna hear what Pete has to say, none of us are engineers, so on the board.
It's easy to say, oh, we got $3,500 and that's it, but to fix it first.
It-
It's a grant, just start.
Well, the panels are a grant, but there isn't
I
a
mean,
grant.
maybe they only looked at that.
We haven't had
panels
we
ago.
haven't had anyone come to us and say, we need X dollars for roof repairs. If we did, talk about it.
Does it need to come through capital now to get that fixed?
That wouldn't be capital, that'd be operating.
Okay. And anytime anyone,
Replacing a roof would be capital.
when Scott comes to me and says, gee, I found a house, I want, you go look at it for me, the first thing I say is, keep the water out, fix the electric, system, burn down. Those are the first two things I say as I'm buying a house.
No, we, as such, but we can't do anything unless someone comes to us and says, we need this is what it will cost.
Can you guys put your foot down on this guy to give?
Did you see that, Gary?
That's really
did you see the study that they did,
person.
where they're gonna put the panels?
Right,
On this,
Yeah. Maybe they're only focusing on that side and
they're right to the end
the
of the
whole
building.
thing.
There's like 12, 15 panels on the side.
All right,
Okay, well,
someone's
just a
gonna put
second.
their foot down and get this report coming in. And then we can get an estimate on what takes to fix to keep the water out. Because putting panels on something that's rotted or leaking is stupid.
Yep.
That's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Okay.
We do that,
I
need a motion for that?
No.
Oh, no, that's operating, that's.
Okay.
not us.
That's you with.
Okay.
Administrator.
In that case, I'll move to adjourn with
Okay.
no set next meeting date, second.
So.
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.
Okay.